Andy, tell me the first inception of the course. Here, we're at Hunter Combe today, but the first inception of the course, tell me about that.
So I came into Stoicism, bumped into it because of my best friend. My best friend started to suffer with depression. He was everything that we thought success was. A businessman, a great father, husband, had all the trappings of wealth and success that we normally say. But he started to suffer with depression, and his depression got worse. And on my journeys to work, I would listen to podcasts, and they talked about Stoicism. So I bought a book off of eBay for £1 called Marcus Aurelius Meditations, and it was life-changing for me. Unfortunately for my best friend, it wasn't. I tried to tell him the latest thing I'd learned from Marcus, and he just wasn't interested. And unfortunately, in 2017, he committed suicide, which devastated our community, and we still feel the effects of it today. And that when you're involved in something like that, you start to notice things. So all the despair that Jason felt didn't disappear. It just went into the faces of the people who were closest to him, like a bomb going off. So that was the thing that really inspired me, was my best friend. Anyway, I just thought, how useful was this to deal with everyday life for me, and to deal with my best friend's, the death of my best friend, but Stoicism that got me through it, really. And I just thought, wow, what an amazing thing. So I reached out to a guy in America called Jeff Traylor and said, we got in an email conversation, and he sent me all his work. Amazing fellow, psychologist from the United States. I've never met him, but he sent me all his work, and I've adapted it ever since. And we've been running courses at Hunter Combe, where now I think we've had about 850 graduates of a 16-session course, which is skill-based. So every session has got a skill involved in it. So learning about purpose, which we've heard a lot about already this morning, how to view events correctly, about not making yourself a victim to your situation. So every one of these sessions has got a distinct skill involved with it. And the men that have gone through the course have found great, like a soothing balm with it, is to deal with the situations that they go through in their life. Not only that, they've gone on and done great things in the outside world too, as we've already spoken with Jay. There's been many examples of that.
You've had some interesting people. When you come to Hunter's Combe here and you walk around, you recognise immediately that you've got two things to think about. One, surviving here in this environment, evolving, adapting, and so forth. And I can see the course being highly relevant to the time I'm here as an inmate. But then the repositioning for the future is another big opportunity. When you started and being in the classroom this morning, but the original class, the first class, it wasn't in that classroom. What was that event like? How did, where was it held? How many people were involved? David, the governor's been unbelievable. Walk me through that.
Yeah, so I've got a fantastic governor, David Redhouse, who has supported everything that we've done with the Stoic course. And our classroom originally was this rickety old thing that was falling down. And we had 12 guys on the course who I kind of used my position as the PE manager here at the prison. They wanted to do the personal trainer course. I said, if you want to do the personal trainer course, you have to do my philosophy course. So they did it. And at the end of the course, they all said two things. When are staff going to learn it? And I wish I learnt this when I was at school, and I would never have come to prison. They've consistently said that at the end of every course ever since. Through the support of the governor and our area manager, we've managed to get two wonderful classrooms, one of which we now teach Stoic philosophy twice a day to 25 guys at a time. So we have 50 guys on the course continuously. And those guys are an assortment of prisoners from around the establishment, and they come on the course based on their risk, or guys who are having problems on the wings, or guys in the segregation unit, and they get on the course through that. Also, staff refer prisoners onto our course, guys that may just be struggling, and they do the course and they get an opportunity to use the gym as well. So we're combining both mental and physical things, as Socrates said 2,500 years ago. It's about both things. It's about our mind and our body, and making sure that we do all that. So at Hunter Combe, we have about 80% of the prison population attend the gym. And we're working towards making sure that every prisoner gets an opportunity to do the Stoic course. So that's the way that we're moving here.
I see that as two parts of value. One is the actual Stoicism itself. We know the value of it. The second thing is I find it really enriching to see when I come to the classes and see these individuals having the chance to be educated, to do something that maybe they've never seen before or be in that environment. The other thing that I found very interesting in the development of the program in here is offering the program to the staff, to the team here. When you have two Stoics together, it's a very powerful medium to move things forward. One Stoic and no Stoic can be a long day for the Stoic, but it's even longer for the person who doesn't know Stoicism. But when you put the two together and you have management and team, in my business world, or the staff, the guards, etc., and the prison population becoming aware of the holistic system, it gives the opportunity to even create more harmony because you're talking a common language. Would that be fair to say?
You're so right. You've hit the nail on the head. So once everybody can speak a Stoic language, the prisoners and the staff, they can de-escalate situations really quickly by understanding.
That dichotomy of control. Your
it.
Emotion needs to regulate.
Yeah.
That's out of your control.
Yeah.
We're doing this anyway. All this big Stoic principle, the view from above, etc., etc. I can imagine that is a very powerful for you as leadership and management within the facility here. That would create a lot more harmony.
Yeah, absolutely. And once staff can speak that language, because most of the prisoners can, and we're working on teaching the staff some Stoic skills too. The de-escalation tool of the dichotomy control in particular is fantastic, because then you can get prisoners to focus on things they truly control, and usually that's not through going mad about some situation that has nothing to do with them, and getting them to focus fully on what they control.
So it's not only the tension in the prison, that must translate into less violence.
Yeah, so we've had 2 formal evaluations done by HMPS psychology team, and both evaluations have shown a reduction in violence, a reduction in aggression, a reduction in self-harm, and an increase in well-being for the Stoic graduates. So off the back of that, the Stoic course has now been approved on the PE Effective Practice panel, so any prison can run the course. And when we start thinking about the hurdles of delivery across different prisons, they're very low hurdles to jump over.
Yeah.
So, the Aurelius Foundation will support prisons with materials for the books, even fancy tracksuits like this for the PE staff, and it's very cheap anyway. So the books cost about 60 pence to produce, and all the training's given by me. So all a prison would really need to take up the Stoic philosophy course is one person. One committed person from within that prison that says, yes, I'm going to do it. And then I can train them, and then they can deliver the course, and then back up from the senior management team. So everybody's on the same page and know where they're going.
You touched on there about costs. The scalability of the program across multiple prisons on a national level, in the grand scheme of things, is a low investment. We as a foundation team are committed to supporting that investment. The other thing that I find very interesting is that inmates, prisoners, criminals end up in a facility for a mistake. The ability to educate, make more aware, and hopefully we don't have that mistake again. If we do not provide the training, if you will, the system, the education of changing not only mindset, but the hearts and soul and purpose of an individual, because you can house an inmate, you can feed an inmate, you can do all those things for an extended period of time, but if you haven't worked on the purpose repositioning, you're at a very high risk of reoffending. And the course, in my mind, that you've led and implemented and will continue to grow is centered on changing the real re-engineering, the DNA of someone's purpose, thought process, how they're going at life. And if you just take that out, you're going to see reoffending rates continue to they won't change.
Yeah, you're dead right. And I noticed over, because I've been in the prison service a long time, 32 years, and I've been teaching PE a long time. And we've turned guys into personal trainers and spinning instructors, but they were still coming back to prison because they're still running faulty software in their mind about how to live a good life. And that's what Stoicism can teach these people. So they can leave this prison with skills of being employable, but much more importantly, the skills of managing everyday life and how to see events properly, seeing things as they are. And not to make excuses for some of the prisoners that we have, because I'm really not. They may have been brought up by the local drug dealer. Their dad may have disappeared when they were very young. They're very little role models. When I look at successful people, they always talk a lot about their role models. I've heard you talk about your role models, how important role modeling is. But if your role model is the guy who hangs out in the street corner selling crack cocaine, you're going to be in trouble. And that's not to hand out excuses, that's to see life as it really is and to address it. And that's what Stoicism can do, to empower people to move forward and make the best of their lives for themselves, for their loved ones, and for the wider community. And we've shown that with some of the guys who've come through the course.
Yeah. Andy, one of the great things that we've been able to do together is I was inspired when I met you years ago and saw what you were doing. We continually want to back you, back Jay, back David, all the things around Hunter Coombe, and we're on our way. Things are happening. Multiple prisons are coming on board, and we'll continue to support that. You're driving that. We want to go to the highest levels of government to see them back this program. And on that basis, it's been very interesting it must be interesting for you to teach the course every day here at Hunter Coombe to 50 inmates and your team. But then you've come with me to Athens and spoken to some of the most successful business people in the world, and it's the same material. So it's very interesting to see how this material, this system, this philosophy plays out not only in prisons, but it plays out at the highest levels of business, families, other communities. And in some ways, it's a relative situation. No matter where you find yourself in or where you are in life, Stoicism applies.
Yeah, so you're correct. And whether you are a man, a woman, whatever your religion is, it doesn't matter. Stoicism will suit that situation perfectly. Whether you're the president of the United States, and many presidents have been practicing Stoics, whether you're in the segregation unit of a prison, no matter what your situation, the same set of guidelines, the same burning torch that we follow is Stoicism. It doesn't matter who you are, even if you're a child, it doesn't matter. You still follow the same program. And to that end, I would just love an opportunity for every prisoner in the country to have an opportunity to learn some Stoic skills, because I just think, firstly, it could cause no harm. Secondly, they're going to be better people at the end of it, and give them some skills of how to negotiate and navigate through everyday life.
Yeah. So we can agree on the goals. And I think when I saw you, when I met you, and what we've been able to accomplish when I met Jay and saw that whole evolution and how it continues to grow, the momentum's coming behind it, people are understanding it. Your goal originally, and is growing more, is to see every single prisoner in the UK have the opportunity, while incarcerated, and other communities, if I may, to go through the Aurelius Foundation course. With humility, my goal is to see that it goes to every prison in the world. And I think we're on a journey to accomplish that.